This spring, a group of researchers from across Carleton University participated in a one-day conference exploring our research expertise and interests, seeking commonalities and synergies. We discussed several areas of import: youth, in terms of education, training, career decisions and expectations; immigration, international mobility, refugees, immigrants, international students, cultural adjustment, employment, and careers; diversity, in terms of gender and minority groups in the workplace; health and wellness, such as workplace stress, engagement, life cycle, and transitions; and employment conditions, like equity, mistreatment, employment contracts, and the role and nature of work. Together, we identified a common theme upon which we will work: identifying and combating the barriers to the labor force in Canada.
But the theme that runs through a lot of the projects that we've been working on is careers. Modern career, which is a terminology in the careers literature, is called the modern career, career patterns and career expectations. We designed a study. We had a sample of 26,000 undergraduate students in Canada, what they expected in their career, and we found significant gender differences in terms of salary, in terms of promotion. And young men expect more money. They expect to get promoted faster, and they expect to go farther than young women do.
I developed a real interest in gender issues, in diversity. I mean, basically for me, the common thread with all of my research is about mistreatment, right? So whether it's at the hands of a colleague or a supervisor, whether it's directed at somebody because of their gender or their power, whether it takes on a sexual, sexist tone or is more I guess generic, so to speak. At the heart of most of what I do is this issue of mistreatment.
Now I'm working with Dr. Schweitzer. We want to know more about the new generation of workers and how they develop their careers. What are the challenges that they face, and how we can help them to have a better career in the future, have more realistic expectations about their job market and their future career, and so on and so forth. Another research interest of mine under career development is the underrepresented groups, such as the LGBTQ community and refugees who have immigrated to Canada.
So I'm an associate professor in the Department of Psychology, and my area of research falls in organizational psychology, so psychology of work. So typically looking at work stress and health, employee engagement, morale, other organizational attitudes, and transitions into work. So transitions to the workplace by early career and then mid-career transitions as well.
Of course, I have lots of areas that I'm interested to pursue. So first of all, the future of work and international mobility. And the second one is future of work and diversity. And here my main areas of interest are women, immigrants, and youth. Then the future of STEM careers and labor market, the transforming effect of emerging technologies, knowledge economy, innovation, competitiveness, and how that influences STEM careers. And transition from higher education to work, preparing youth for the jobs of tomorrow.
I have a little bit of research, a couple of projects at different points looking at evaluation, particularly in the health field, so evaluation of health programs or the methods of evaluating that. Over time, my research is focused more in here about economic determinants of child outcomes. Child outcomes broadly defined, I've looked at cognitive outcomes, school performance, behavioral outcomes, and health outcomes, specifically obesity and overweight. So
also increasingly precarious work and citizenship. Because in this broad discussion of labor migrations, one of the things that became very apparent very soon was that there is a hierarchy of eligibility and there's a hierarchy of rights and entitlements.
I'm in the Department of Health Sciences. I'm actually trained as a psychologist. So I'm one of the now growing half of the health science department who focuses on the social determinants of health side of things. An increasingly, I think, important life transition is that into a caregiving role, which we see is becoming more and more common. We have a rapidly growing aging population, and so many caregivers are seniors, but a lot of times they're not. They're that sandwich generation, people like us who are raising kids and then have aging parents and are trying to juggle everything. And so that has implications for health and for work as well.
Gulanowski. I'm an assistant professor of international business at the Carleton School of Business. My primary research focuses on the role of online technologies in newcomers, labor market integration, adjustment, and social support in Canada. In my research, I examine various types of migrants, including refugees, expatriates, as well as international students. And in my research, I also look at various types of technologies, such as online forums and online blogs.
What drives my research? So intersection between cognition and global mobility. In terms of global mobility, I have been focusing lately on skilled migrants and refugees, in particular in my latest work on refugees. But I'm also interested on how people adjust to these multicultural environments where you have people from all over the place. On the cognition side, sense making, sense giving, and identity work. So how can I make sense of who I am in this context?